money. They all need money.
What up, everybody? I am your host, J5, and welcome to the Block Podcast, where we focus on entrepreneurial growth as well as social issues and injustices that surround the urban community, bringing to you real-life experience for the advancement of business development. Now, y'all know I got to show love, so let's do it. Whether it be business or personal, you need professionals that can supply you with all your personal protection equipment. So when it comes time to have masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, or reliable disinfectants for the studio to keep me and my guests safe, I know ROI Marketing and Safety have got me and my guests covered. So log on to www.roippe.com or drop them an email at sales@roippe.com and let them keep you and yours safe. Now, let's step out on the block. Today's guest is very important to the city of Indianapolis and to the state of Indiana, to the game of basketball. He has played a very intricate part within the history right here in the city of Indianapolis, but not only just the city of Indianapolis or the state of Indiana, but the country. He has been an intricate part of shifting not only basketball, but racism here in the city of Indianapolis and the state of Indiana. So today we're going to talk a little bit about basketball. We're going to talk a little bit about history, and we're going to talk a little bit about how basketball helped change history right here on the Block Podcast. I would like for you to welcome the forward of the 1955 Crispus Attucks All Black National Championship team, Mr. John Gipson. Welcome to the Block Podcast, Mr. John Gipson. How are you doing today?
Doing fine. Thanks for having me, man.
Man, truly, thank you. Thank you for being here. I know that the listeners are going to love this. They're going to love what you have to say. You have an abundance of experience and knowledge with the game of basketball and history. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about both. A little bit about history, a little bit about basketball, and a little bit about how basketball changed history. Yeah. How about we do that?
That'll work.
So go ahead and explain. Tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I'm John Gipson, a former Crispus Attucks basketball player back in 1955 and 56. I'm retired right now, but retired from Chrysler Motors. Went to Indiana Central College. That's where I started first. Okay. And then I dropped out. I played out there for 2 years.
Okay.
And then I dropped out and went to work. And I came back after I got married. I went back to school after I got married. Went to Martin University.
Okay.
Out on the east side. And right now, like I say, I'm retired, not doing nothing, watching a lot of basketball.
Well, you got a lot coming up with the tournament about the car. Yeah, you go get a nice dose.
Oh yeah.
All right. There's so much I want to ask you. So I'm gonna just dive right in because I just want to know. I'm just as curious as the listeners are gonna be. Yeah. So my first, I guess, question is, how strong was the bond between the players on those two teams, 55, 56?
Well, we had a real strong bond. I think what happened, the coach, he selected the right players, the right guys, you know.
Uh-huh.
He could have picked 12 other guys, and it probably wouldn't work, you know.
Exactly.
And when maybe they may have the same, talent as we had, but it might not work because
Not
of
the same
personalities,
chemistry.
you know, yeah.
Yeah.
And so the personalities, they work, you know, yeah.
Okay. How does it make you feel knowing that you are a part, you're a huge part of not only just basketball?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm sorry, but not only basketball here in Indianapolis, Indiana, but nationwide. You're a part of history through basketball in the city of Indianapolis. How does that feel to know that you and those guys were able to accomplish what you were able to accomplish, not just on the basketball court, but what you were able to accomplish through what you did on the basketball court?
Well, it was a tremendous ordeal we went through because of a lot of things you had to do without, the school had to do without, you know.
Okay.
Like when they opened the school, they didn't have brand new stuff. They had to get used equipment, used books, used chairs and tables and all that. But once we started playing and we were drawing those large crowds out to Butler, they were the money that they brought in was more than anybody was making, even all the colleges around here in Indiana. We were drawing 10, 12,000 people at a game, you know.
At a high school
At
game.
a regular season game, yeah.
At a regular high school
the
game.
colleges weren't enjoying about 4,000 or 5,000. You know. Yeah.
And because you guys, your home court was Hinkle.
Yeah, Hinkle Fieldhouse and Tech.
So you're growing. So you guys are drawing a bigger crowd than Butler themselves.
Yeah. They had a pro team called Indianapolis Olympians. I think they were in existence from 51, 53. And they were enjoying what our team, the team before my team that played. A couple of years they had Willie Gardner, great Hallie Bryant, all those guys, and they were drawing big crowds too. And the pro, like I said, that pro team wasn't even drawing as much as we did over that.
That's correct. Now, because I'm not sure or familiar with the Pacers weren't here yet, were they?
Oh no, they weren't here.
Pacers weren't even here yet. Okay, all right. So you guys pretty much were the hot stuff.
Yeah, talk of the town, you know. Yeah, talk of the town, man. You know.
Man, okay. Now with we're gonna jump off to the game itself. I read. I don't know who exactly did the interview, but I read it online, and it said that I guess the year before you guys, I think was it 54, 55, that it said that your coach told you to play safe, a gentleman's game. And someone had responded to it saying that maybe that might have been the reason why you guys didn't pull it off the first time versus the next time it was a black-on-black team.
Right.
And you could go all out.
Right.
So how did that is that correct? With
well,
your
no,
coach
that's not
and how?
entirely correct. They had a coach named Fitzhugh Lyons, the head varsity coach before Ray Crow, my coach, got there.
Okay.
And so he got on board. They hired him as assistant coach to Fitzhugh Lyons. This was in 51, 52.
Okay.
And so Lyons, he always said, let's go out here. We might was going to lose and get it over with, and don't worry about it, you know. That's the mentality he had, you know.
Huh.
Because he didn't like to go against segregation and all that, you know.
Oh, okay.
He didn't want to stir the waters, so to speak, you know.
Oh, okay.
So when we got there, our coach said, "No, we're not going to be playing no gentleman's game. Said we're going to play with a chip on our shoulder, but we're going to be humble at the same time, you know. So we're going all out, you know. Yeah."
And I read that too.
Yeah.
He was really big on you guys.
Yeah.
Making sure that you maintain your composure, that you upheld a good status for the school and for the community.
It started in practice, man. We weren't allowed to. If you get upset with the way somebody's guarding you, a little too physical, whatever, you couldn't display any kind of hostility in practice.
Okay.
So it wasn't going. That carried through to the game.
To the game. So you couldn't even do it in practice
you
with
couldn't
your
even do it in
own
practice.
team players.
Yeah.
So just to get you ready for when the game come, you knew better.
Yeah.
You
They'll be talking to you, saying things to you,
Right.
trying to get you out of your game, get you out of character, get you mad to where you can't think. That's what a lot of those guys used to do, and so you just had to play through that,
Okay.
It took a little while, but
So everybody was adherent to that.
You said something. You say it under your breath. You wouldn't work your mouth going down the floor. You such and so like that. You be saying it under your breath. If he saw you, come on
He'd
out.
pull you right out.
Yeah, pull you out.
Man.
Ref make a bad call. You can't say nothing.
You just got to roll with it.
If anything said, he would say it.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't do nothing but sit there with his legs crossed.
Wow.
He said he did all the preparation in practice. He said everything we need to know, we did it in practice. So now we're playing, all he does is make substitutions, and somebody get hurt, bring him out.
Yeah.
If it had a tight game, he'd instill a play,
So he was the first Phil Jackson. He was. Oh man. How difficult? Okay, I read also that because of Attucks being the only black school, that all the teachers, of course, all the black teachers were sent to Attucks,
Right.
and come to find out that Attucks, I don't know for how many years or how long, but during you guys' stretch in the 50s. It said that Attucks High School had the most scholars as far as teachers at any school. How did that affect being in school? Was that hard? Were they harder on you guys, or?
Well, I wouldn't say hard, but they demand, they wanted excellence out of you, what you do your best,
Okay.
And they all had their master's degrees. They were required to have them,
Okay.
before they get the job, And if they didn't have it, they had to be going to school, working towards getting that master's degree.
Okay.
And a few of them had 2 or 3 of them had doctorate degrees. Wow. Our principal, Dr. Russell Lane, and the lawyer attorney. He's an attorney. Oh man, I had a senior moment. Anyway, he's an attorney, and he had 11 degrees. And
What?
Yeah. John Martin Feeney, that was his name.
11 degrees.
11 degrees. He had 3 in English, a couple of languages, and then he had
Wow.
He was certified to be a superintendent.
So you guys got it. You guys got a pretty good education.
We had a heavy staff over there, Yeah.
Wow, man. Okay. Let's go to the elephant in the room. That you guys had to deal with a good deal of racism.
Oh yeah.
With Indiana, in pretty much being in the 20s, pretty much the Klan ran.
Oh yeah. City was ran by the mayor was a Klansman. They said back then, the mayor, governor, and all them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now with that, with seeing stuff like that, okay, and this came across to me, and I had to put this question in here because I wanted to know from someone that has actually been a part of history, and not only a part of history, but a part of history, politics, and sports. Okay, you pretty much you didn't choose that part. You just chose the game, but the game went into the rest of it.
Right.
So, my thing is with you being able to see all that, in the 50s and 60s, how does that compare to what we've seen in the last 4 years in this country? When you hear things like okay, for instance, you guys' parade was cut short, right? Yeah. And what was the reason for them cutting the?
They said they thought that the black supporters, not the team, would tear up downtown and vandalize things and stuff like that.
Okay.
So they didn't want any blacks downtown that night.
Okay. Now, with that being said, okay, later this last year, they went and they boarded up downtown.
Right.
because they thought, with the verdict coming out that people would come down and tear up downtown again. How does that compare, to what you've seen to what you see now?
Well, now they just come out with it more. They're more blatant with it.
You think they're more blatant now?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Back then, they'd do it behind the scenes, and they wouldn't just come out, like a lot of things that went on, you went along with because that's the way things were then. You knew that you couldn't go here, so you didn't go there, because you wouldn't be served,
Okay.
And on other issues, like I said, they'll just come out and say what they're thinking now, whereas they didn't used to do that like that,
Okay. Oh, okay. Now, what about when you hear things, and I particularly thought this was interesting when it comes to someone like you, shut up and dribble.
Now, we never did hear nothing like that because...
because back then, like I said, you weren't particularly a part of the political part of it, or the social part of it. You were just playing ball and things were happening because of that. But nowadays, you have players who they utilize their platform as professional athletes to try to fight injustice.
Yeah, they go on social media now. And
and so, but my thing is like when you hear, media tells, that the whole, athletes don't have any place in social, in justice, and social issues and things like that. What do you think on that? Being someone that has actually changed history.
Well, I don't blame them for voicing their opinion on what they think. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I don't care who you are.
Right.
Politician, if you're a judge and you're wrong, you're wrong, as far as I'm concerned,
Okay.
And back then, you didn't have a voice. You had to take out whatever they dispersed,
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
They say do this, you had to do that,
So when did you start seeing like a change, in how you guys were perceived around town?
Well, after we beat up on everybody for the 2 years I played, and then things kind of laxed. You would go to the white movie theaters. Blacks had to go upstairs and sit, but we would sit downstairs. They wouldn't say nothing to us,
Because you was the boys from
They
Attucks.
knew, they just, and then slowly, everybody could go after a certain time.
Okay.
And you couldn't eat in their restaurants. You could get your stuff to go. Like we were the first blacks to eat downtown. In LaFendrick's restaurant, they called it then. That's where we ate victory dinner after we won the championship. And the people were afraid for us, the blacks working in there. What y'all doing sitting down in here? Y'all can't do, they didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went away. As I'm sitting here with you right now, and I'm hearing this come out of your mouth, it's surreal to me because I was born in 1970.
Yeah.
So I didn't even really know what was going on until I was 8. So we talking 1978. So I have no idea of what you have seen, what you've been through, what you've heard.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting here just kind of blown back, man, because I'm sitting here with history, with a real part of history. You really did something for the world, not just, for Indianapolis, but for the nation and the world, man. How did with the KKK being a part of the politics and school system and pretty much everything, what kind of effects did that have on you guys, as far as your schooling and the school system and things like that?
All our teachers had to go by the curriculum that the public schools put out. They couldn't teach us black history or something on certain things. If it wasn't in their curriculum that they put out for us, they couldn't use it, There's a lot of black people that did big things back then. I didn't even learn about it after I got out of high school. And I started reading a lot and went to college and all this stuff. And this one invented this and this one did that. We had one guy, he was one of the first black captains in the Navy. He's one of the, they call him the Golden 13. And I didn't even know that until I got out of high school. Wow. He never said it, and they didn't beat their own drums.
Yeah.
Most people don't. And they had all kinds of, Martin Finney, he had all them degrees. I didn't know that, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things, man. When they had the Brown versus Board versus Education, that deal,
Yep.
the Rosa Parks, all that
Yeah.
stuff happened the same year that we won the state championship.
Oh,
In fact,
wow.
we did our thing before all this other stuff transpired.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you're aware that Converse has a Breaking Barriers collection
Oh, yeah.
come out. And first shoe in the collection is for Massachusetts for 1891
Right.
when basketball was
We invented the game.
created. Yeah. And then the second shoe on that list is you guys.
Crispus Attucks. Yeah.
1955.
Yeah.
Crispus Attucks Championship. First all black national championship team.
Yeah, in the country, yeah.
Yep. All right. With that being said, Converse wanted to give you something. They thought you might like these.
Oh, man. It's all right, man. Converse, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
This is the actual 1955 Crispus Attucks Championship Team shoe, Converse, Breaking Down Barriers collection. You were probably one of maybe 3 or 4 people that might have that shoe. Maybe. It doesn't come out till the spring. But I reached out to them and told them I was doing this interview, and they sent these shoes for you.
I appreciate it. Man.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome. Oh man, yeah, those are nice though. Those are really nice. Okay.
It costs $300 or $400, you know, regularly. You know.
I have no idea what they're going to be, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to go pretty quick though. Okay, what are some of your fondest memories at Attucks? Outside of the championship, of course. You know.
Well, just the way we were received by the people, man. You know, everywhere you went, you know, your neighborhood, the school. Everybody went to school. You know, a lot of times, man, people would come out of their house, open the door, wave at you, speak with you and stuff, man. You know, especially after we won it.
That had to be such a different change because, you know, the year before you win the first championship, you know, people you walking down the street, people locking their doors. 2 years later, like you said, now they're opening the door. Yeah. Hey, John. Hey, you know. And I read somewhere where one of the guys said that if you guys were walking down the street, people would pull over to give you guys rides.
Oh yeah, man. I never did ride a bus, man. Until I might maybe after I got out. You walk out and stand on the corner, man. 6 cars might stop, man. You know. Where you going? Where you going? I'm going out east. Come on out.
And they just knew you guys by face. Just
yeah.
That is crazy.
They pull over. You ask them, they say, I'm going to such and so. You take whatever ride, you know, to get you where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White, black?
Yeah, but white.
Both?
Yeah.
Man.
Yes,
I mean, that had to be such a turnaround. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, before you guys win the championship, you know, it's one way. Oh, yeah. And then the next year, you know, everybody's, hey, you know, hey, come on in. You know, you're like, what?
That's true.
Man, I just, like I said, I've never, you know, I'm privy to see that,
right.
You know, and so just to hear it and to talk to someone who's actually been through it is just, right. It's for me, it's just real.
Yeah, like they boo some of the NBA players now, you know. Boo them, you know, people get in there and start talking about them.
Yeah.
They were so busy watching us play, man, that they'd be sitting with their mouth wide open like that. That whole section of the people that they ain't saying nothing. They just watching us play, man, you know.
Just in amazement.
Yeah. In all, man, you know, they're sitting there looking. Outside would be hollering, yeah, and they be like, you know.
Okay. All right. Someone told me to ask you this question. Not sure if you guarded him or not, but they asked me to ask you how difficult was it to guard Dick Barnett from Gary High School,
Yeah, with
him being a superior left-hand shooter.
Well, I thought I did well on him, although, that's.
Well, I mean, you won the game,
you know.
so I mean, you did something.
He hit a couple shots on me because I retaliated. I came back and did my thing too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he was hard to guard, man. He was the first left-handed guy that I had guarded, and I was all up over him, man. And it looked like he laid down in there and just shot over me and said, nothing but net. I said, man, who was this guy? He wasn't about 6'3", 6'2",
Okay.
if he was that big,
Wow.
He was tough. He had icing, man. They had some help. They could have gave us a better game,
Okay. Yeah, because I looked at the score on that game and I was like, what? Wait a minute. Yeah. You guys really went to town.
Yeah, because our bench was good, man. Myself and Stan Patton. Well, Bill Brown was our sixth man. He went in when guys would get fouls and to create different situations. They put him in. He was all around, man. He was just like a starter, basically.
Wow.
And our bench went in. We didn't miss a beat. We were playing against their starters when we went in the game.
With your bench.
And score still kept on, Score kept building, man,
Yeah, because I said, because somebody, I don't know who it was now, I can't remember, but they said that they went into the game thinking, man, this is going to be a long night.
Yeah.
And then they said the next thing they knew, you were up 12 points.
Oh, yeah.
And the next thing they turned around again, you were up 20 points. And I was just like, wow, it jumped like that immediately.
Yeah, man, we had an all-star team. We quiet as kept,
Yeah.
Because all our guys could have went to another school and been stars, man, our bench players, we could. Well, we had a reserve team.
I heard that a lot of guys that had the opportunity after that to go to other schools,
yeah,
but
did.
they would go. They would
First,
come
they
to
didn't want
Attucks.
any black players. After we did what we did, those other coaches, like that coach from Tech High School, he said in public, he said, some of those guys live in my district, and I'm gonna get them from now on. In other words, if you live in that district, you're gonna come to Tech and play for him.
Yeah. He's about to switch up the game.
Yeah, he ended up that next year. He had about 6, 7 blacks playing on there, man.
Wow.
They didn't get out of the sectional, but they won the city tournament.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before they hadn't won anything, Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Golly. Okay. Here's a good one for you. Could you take Big O on one-on-one?
No. He just killed me in practice, man. He just killed me in practice. I would just guard him to try to learn something.
Yeah.
Because he played all over, and I was a forward and center.
Okay.
So he'd come down there, and I'd try to guard him. And he had I didn't know until later years that he had 7 moves, 7 things that he did. He told me this personally.
Uh-huh.
He'd do the same thing, but he'd do it 7 different ways. And he would continue and guys be trying to figure out what's he doing, And he'd start out the same way, but he ended up doing
switching a little bit, a little bit.
And he'd be killing me. But I said, well, the coach does this to better guys than me,
right.
So I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, he'd be killing me, man. But like I said, I just try to learn from it,
Wow. Okay.
All I did was try to stay in front of him. That's all I could do.
Yeah.
Because he could score whenever he wanted to.
Yeah, I have watched a few games. Yeah. He was good. There's no question about that. How great was the team's accomplishment, and how, as far as your view, did it change basketball?
Oh, it did. We changed the way basketball played, man. They used to play that stall ball, get the ball and hold it,
Uh-huh.
and so you don't have a chance to do nothing if they're holding the ball. They'd hold it 2 or 3 minutes. This is before we played,
Okay.
But what we did, we just put a full court pressure defense all game long, and we ran on offense.
Wow.
And, they couldn't keep up. If they weren't in shape, they couldn't keep up. Even the referees got tired. I met a referee that had a tavern on Indiana Avenue about 4 blocks from where I live.
Uh-huh.
And I met him. He came out. This is after I graduated. He said, you don't know me. He said, I used to referee your games. Told me his name and everything.
Uh-huh.
He said, I told my wife every time I had you guys game, I said, take the phone off the hook and don't bother me. So I got to get my rest. He said, because them guys run. Because he said he had to change clothes when he get through refereeing. He'd be from sweating and
Sweating.
running. Because we ran.
Trying to keep up with y'all.
Yeah, we played fast break basketball.
The running rebels before the running rebels.
Oh, yeah. Everything we did, they doing now, we did back then, like crossover dribble. Our coach didn't like for us to do fancy passing, like wraparound passes. And stuff
no looks.
like that, or any of that. And he especially didn't like dribbling between your legs and all that stuff. He hated that stuff.
So he just wanted you guys just straight basketball, straight basketball, and get the job done.
And you couldn't dunk back then. We had a feed line in the warm up. When you warming up for the game, and we had about 6 guys could dunk. And so we'd go in, I'd be dunking 2 hands, and guys be and the other team would be down there looking like that. And their coach said, "Get down there and shoot around. Quit looking at them." And the IHSAA ended up how should I say it? They told our coach and athletic department no dunking in the games or warm ups either.
So they stopped you from the warm up.
They would call a technical on you to start the game
before the game
if you
started.
Did it, if you dunked the ball in warm up. I ain't talking about in the game. I'm talking about the warm up.
Yeah, before the game even starts.
So that was all out of our game. We could do it out on the Dust Bowl or somewhere.
Yeah,
but not in the game. Yeah.
Okay, and that's something I wanted to bring up that too, because the Dust Bowl was here in the city was where the real players
over Lockfield Gardens
went to go play ball.
Everybody in the city came to Lockfield Gardens one time or another,
Okay.
All day long.
So Lockfield is like the Rutgers in New York.
Right.
Okay.
You had older guys that didn't go to school. Some were out of school. I'm talking about older guys, that came here and played, and that's where everybody honed their game, over in Lockfield,
At Dust Bowl. And like I said, I didn't know because I grew up 23rd in Indianapolis, right next street over from Watkins Park.
Yeah.
And so when I came up, of course it wasn't Dr. Martin Luther King, it was still Northwestern. And they had the Dust Bowls there.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I didn't know the history of you guys, or anything like that. So I thought that was where the Dust Bowl was always at, was at Watkins Park. I didn't even know anything about Lockfield.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. And, till I started doing my research. Right. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I was like, because they used to say, they were having a Dust Bowl at Watkins Park.
Yeah.
I was like, because I used to go.
Yeah.
And that's when I read that. I was like, well, wait a minute. I thought it was at. Yeah. So they must have just moved it.
Yeah, they started having it in Watkins, out on the south side, in different places,
Mm-hmm.
In Douglas Park, they started having them out there and everything,
And I didn't even know the reason why they called the Dust Bowl.
Well, they didn't have no asphalt on the floor back then. Over at Lockfield, it was just dirt.
Yeah.
And in the summer when it's hot, it'd be dust flying and carrying on dirt and stuff. And when it's raining, sloppy, muddy. And in the winter time, it's snow on the ground where you can just pass the ball. You can't just pass it and then shoot it.
Wow. That's crazy. I never even knew, that was even a thing. Right. I just knew that, this is the Dust Bowl at Watkins Park. I didn't know the history behind that, just doing the research to get to talk to you. I've learned so much about the city of Indianapolis that I didn't even know.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you guys were the first black championship team.
Oh, yeah. Indianapolis had never won a championship before we won it. And it had been going for 50 years.
Yeah.
And then we came along and won it. And then we won it 2 years in a row. And then Washington High School won it in 65 and 69. Yeah.
That's me. Continentals.
George McGinnis and all those guys in 69.
I went to school with his son.
Oh, did you?
Tony McGinnis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went to school with his son, and I got to meet George.
Yeah,
good guy. Real good guy. Okay, why was, why was your coach so successful? versus someone else? What was he doing that?
His family was the only black family down there in the southern part of Indiana. Well, just south of Indianapolis.
Okay.
Right near Franklin. I forget the name of the little town.
Okay.
And he had 7 brothers and about, I think, 2 or 3 sisters.
Right.
And he was the oldest boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he came up with white people. He went to school with them, played sports with them, and all that.
Okay.
And they didn't, they didn't do him like they would do blacks in Indianapolis,
Okay.
And he knew how to deal with white people.
Okay.
And he didn't try to retaliate and nothing. He just, as long as they didn't do nothing physically to him, then he just let it blow off, Maybe you get physical now and then, he'll take you and throw you into the wall, Yeah. But he just knew how to deal with those people, and he was a firm guy, disciplinarian, you might want to call him, But he was fair, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he watched over you guys.
Yeah, he didn't take no stuff, You couldn't play around, and when you come to practice, you had to be serious. If he catch you goofing off, you liable to tell you to hit the roads, Because they had guys walking the hall that could have played on our team,
Okay.
But you can only have 12.
Yeah.
And so you got to know how to present yourself to make the team, like I did.
Okay.
See, I went in, I was rebounding, and I looked at all these guys. We had about 250 guys go out for one team. And they be everybody be jacking up shots, shooting off, they're trying to look fancy. And I said, I know what I'm going to do. I said, I'm going to go in there and rebound. And I went after every rebound and passed the ball and deep block shots. So I was one of the few guys that blocked shots. Oh. And that's how I made the team.
Okay, you went a different route. Yeah. You went more the defense route than the offense to stand out.
Yeah.
That's it worked for Dennis Rodman for sure. Yeah. So I mean that's a good niche though. And you said how many guys went out for the team?
Well, the gym supposedly just a little. It wasn't a regular basketball floor, but it was a gym they put in there.
Right.
And they said it's seated 500, but it looked like it only seated about 200 or 300, maybe 300 in there.
Uh-huh.
And it would be just about half full, I'll say. You couldn't tell because they all
tryouts.
Over, tryouts, yeah.
Wow.
They cut 50 today, and then the next day they cut 50, That's how they had to get rid of them, And I mean, these guys, most of them could play, But like I said, you could only add 12 men playing. And they just did them out like that.
What made you want to play basketball?
Well, when Oscar Robinson's brother Bayless in '51, I was in the 7th grade. Uh-huh. He hit a shot against Anderson High School to send him to the regional.
Okay.
That won the regional for him with 5 seconds to go, man. And everybody saw that shot. Everybody I talked to today that was around then said they remember that shot. They was in a barbershop or home or somewhere, and that just it triggered everything. Everybody wanted to play basketball.
When you saw that shot, you said, "I want to do that right there." Man, I tell you what, there's a lot of basketball players that are thankful for you guys. That are very thankful for you guys for what you've done, what you went through, you endured,
Yeah.
And to be able to do all that and still, how many games? 31?
Yeah, we won. First year we won 30 and lost 1. Then the next year we won 31 and didn't lose any, 31 zip,
Wow. How does that feel?
Oh, man, it felt good, man. The one loss, I was it's hindsight, but I kind of always say it was good we lost that game because that let us know that if you lose once in the tournament, you out.
Right.
Ain't no more,
Yeah.
So we had to be on our P's and Q's.
Okay. And when did you lose that one game? How far into the season were you?
We were over halfway. We were getting ready for the city tournament.
Who'd you lose to?
Connorsville.
Connorsville?
Yeah.
I have friends and family in Connorsville.
Yeah, they beat us. They had a wet floor.
That's right. The pool underneath the gym.
Yeah.
Yes, with the condensation.
Be slipping and carrying on. I almost broke my back in warm-up line. I jerked like it, slid and I caught myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like the coach, he didn't. He just said, "Well, they played on it too, so we don't have no excuses."
Right.
Yeah. So he never would make no excuses,
Okay. 31 games straight. I can't even imagine that, man. I can't even imagine that. Okay, accomplishments of each player and their success before and after the time in Attucks.
Well, our players.
Yeah.
Well, I started in 5. They all went to college. They all graduated, except Hampton didn't graduate, but he went to college. He went 2 or 3 years. And Bill Scott, he graduated from Butler and made all conference out there.
Okay.
And they played in a national invitational tournament in Madison Square Garden. Butler did.
Okay.
And he made the all tournament team there,
Wow.
And he taught in the public school system for 40 years.
Okay.
And Bill Hampton, he was a star out there in Indiana Central. They call it then. It's called University of Indianapolis.
U of I.
And he's in the Hall of Fame out there, and IHSA Hall of Fame, And we played a lot of AAU ball together after college. And Cedric Mitchell, he played at Butler too, and he got drafted. He went to the Navy, and he was all naval, made all naval, all services tournament they had.
So everybody went and just kept playing ball.
Oh yeah,
Everybody kept playing ball.
And Willie Merriweather, he was a All-American at Purdue.
Okay.
In 59. He was a senior when I was a junior on the 55 team.
Okay.
He made the Indiana All-Star team. Oscar made the Indiana All-Star team. Oscar was named Mr. Basketball in 56.
Okay.
Stan Patton that played with us in 56 and 55. He was alternate on the 55 All-Star team with Oscar,
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody went to college mostly. And other guys like Sam Milton. He worked for General Motors. He retired from there. And Willie Burnley, when he graduated in 55, he didn't live but a couple of years. He went to Central State College in Ohio.
Uh-huh.
He had got cancer. He had cancer when he went down there.
Oh, okay.
And he died maybe a year or so later. So he died young.
Yeah.
And Johnny McBrown, he went out to Indiana Central, played football for a couple of years.
Okay.
Then he dropped out. He worked till he passed away early too. Back in, it wasn't real early, but he was up in age,
Okay.
And then Bill Brown and Stan Patton, we all played together. In 56, we were starting 5. Oscar, Brown, Sam, myself, Stan Patton, and who else was it? Bill Brown, Oscar. Yeah, I said 5. I think it's 5.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Brown and Patton played at Tennessee State University when they won the national NAIA small college tournament.
Wow.
They won a national championship, yeah. They won it 3 years in a row, but they played on the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Laverne, and then we had other guys on our 56 team that went undefeated. Laverne Benson, he was an honorable mention All-American in Miami of Ohio.
Okay.
All conference, and then Albert Maxey was all Big 8 out at Lincoln, Nebraska, and the University of Nebraska. And who else? It was somebody else. But anyway, they all did something. They all accomplished things.
Everybody went on to do something. That's amazing, man.
Yeah, I played a couple of years and I dropped out, but
yeah.
I played 3 years with Goose Statham. Goose Statham.
Okay.
Played with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
He quit and formed his own team. I toured with him for 3 years,
Okay.
before I came back home and
Okay.
gave it up. Started playing AAU ball, got married and all that stuff,
Okay. Man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is so cool. This is so cool just to learn this. Now, because I know you've seen, some pretty bad things. What is some of the things that you've seen that should have deterred you guys?
Well, one time we had an old school bus or something we traveled in, and we booked a lot of away games because we didn't have nowhere to play in the city. We couldn't get Butler Tech. We didn't have nowhere to play. So the athletic director gave us a lot of away games,
Okay.
So they had I don't know if they rented the old school bus or whatever. And we traveled in there. We pulled in a service station. He asked could the guys use the restroom. He said, no, y'all can't use no restroom here. So we was getting ready to put some gas in the tank, and the coach said, "Hey, take the pump out of the tank. We going somewhere else."
Yeah.
And he missed filling up.
Yeah.
He was upset, but there wasn't nothing he could do about it. We went on somewhere else.
Wow.
We traveling all down in those backwoods towns and stuff.
Now, and now your away games, they were just here in Indiana?
Yeah, in Indiana, Fort Wayne, Mishawaka, Gary. We played once in Bloomington. We just played everywhere, man.
Oh, okay.
Sheridan.
Connorsville.
Yeah, East Chicago. Yeah.
Okay.
Connorsville, yeah.
What was one of your toughest games, you think, for you?
The toughest game we had was in '55 was against Muncie Central in the semi-state.
Muncie Central.
To see who go to the Final Four.
Okay.
And we beat a team. I forget who we beat in the afternoon. Then we beat Muncie by 1 point.
In
55 in the semi-state.
You said in the morning, and so you played 2 games in a day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. For the regional, played the afternoon that night. Semi-state, you played the morning game, the night game. Then the finals, you played the morning game, and you played championship game.
And you guys are still running just full speed, going.
Yeah, that was our game, man.
Y'all really loved it, man. You guys really loved that. That's amazing.
Only the biggest part was the referees, and we just played through that stuff. They be on the call foul. Oscar take the ball, hit about 4 or 5 shots. We got a 10, 15-point lead. Then we don't have to worry about no referees then. And we start putting them on. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's a definite different approach.
Yeah.
Is we just gonna shoot a lot, is score a lot.
Yeah.
Man, we ain't gotta worry about fouling nobody. We ain't gotta worry about none of that.
Yeah, one team we had them. They was playing a stall game.
Okay.
And we was up 12 points, I think, and they just out there holding the ball. Say y'all ain't gonna get your averages against us and all that crazy stuff. This is in the sectional, man.
Just so you guys wouldn't get your
so
stats.
they wouldn't run the score up and stuff, man. And they losing, they getting beat.
They're already losing.
They stood out there until they started trying to play.
Wow.
There was some weird stuff happening. And we played a sudden death with Sharpe. That was the second.
Now that
game.
That I heard about that game.
Yeah.
That was the two overtimes.
Yeah. Then
yes.
It was tied up 2 overtime. Then that third overtime is called sudden death.
Yeah.
First team to score the free throw or a basket win the game. So they had a jump ball. And so Oscar, normally he don't even jump center. He said, they told him to move out and let him jump center. He got the tip. And then he tipped it to somebody, and then they gave him the ball back, and he told everybody to go to the corner. Just take your man and go to the corner. They went over in the corner and stood. And then he just took his man, and I thought he was going around him, but I guess he figured a ref might call traveling or a charge and anything. So he just stopped and hit a soft jump shot and killed and broke their hearts, man,
Oh, wow.
And they had a great team, too.
Yeah, but, apparently, if they took you down to the wire like that.
Yeah, we had 3 friends on there. They couldn't understand how we beat them 6 times in 2 years. We beat them in the regular season, city tournament, and the section. And one of them told me, he said, man, we should have got one of them games. I said, well, man, hey, whatever. What can I say?
They say, well, you didn't get one then.
All the rest of the games, we won at probably maybe an 18, 20 point a game average.
Wow.
Yeah. Beat them by that's how many points we beat them teams by.
What was the most you ever scored in a game?
High school?
Yeah.
I got 12. 12 points, yeah.
12 points.
Yeah.
That's a lot, though, for you, because
you
were defense.
I was getting the rebound,
right.
dispersing the ball. And the guys, they didn't miss too many shots. One time the coach got on me and said, Gipson, you quit rebounding. I said, well, Mr. Crow, they hitting every shot. I said, I ain't no rebounds.
Right.
And, he thought I was getting, but I didn't really mean it like that.
Yeah.
That's the way I saw it. Now I'm going to get a rebound.
Right. Who's the hardest player you ever had to defend?
Probably that Barnett guy in the state championship game,
Really?
I played 4.5 minutes. And I was on him, man, and it was because he was the real deal, man. Rebound, handle the ball, and he had a shot. Like he fold up in there and shoot it, shoot over,
Wow.
He was tough, yeah.
That is awesome. Awesome, man. Okay, so you have you've been of course you're the team historian. So you have a lot of memorabilia.
Yeah, I brought a lot of stuff today, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to show it because we ain't really got no room.
Oh, well, I mean, if you want to grab something, I mean, you can pull it out, in the middle of the show here. I don't mind. Here, we'll.
Yeah. Can you reach it? Yeah, we're still getting stuff through the years, man. We were recognized in Congress back in 2015 on the, I think it was 60th anniversary. And the 60th anniversary. And they, what's his name? Senator Dan Coates recognized us in a session of Congress.
Wow.
Yeah.
You realize that what you've done, can never be undone.
That's true.
It can never be undone.
And then Star Sports Writers did a thing and selected us as one of the top 10 sports stories of the 20th century. We came in number 7th.
The top 10
Indiana
the
entire
sports
20th
stories
century.
of
Man.
all.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
Both our teams are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And
yep.
Oh man, I got too many. I ain't even bringing stuff out.
There's
a very cool All Star. We had a team to travel around and played all over the state after college, and that was successful. We only lost 3 or 4 games during that time,
John Gills, Bill Hampton, Bill Scott, Willie Miller.
And the coach, that big guy, Willie Gardner, he played with the Globetrotters for 3 years. Then they sold his contract to the New York Knicks, but he developed his heart problems. And he could never play anymore after that.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So his career was cut short, Yeah.
Now, are you still involved in basketball in any kind of way at all? No.
Nah. I just do a motivational type thing. Like this month, normally in Black History Month, I go around the school, different things, different groups.
Okay.
And show just the championship teams,
Yeah.
where they went to college and what they accomplished. And I used to have a movie, but it's been kind of faded out now. The championship game.
Wow.
To show that,
Man.
And then we were selected as the Grand Marshals of the 500 Parade in 2015.
How was that?
Oh man, that was like a euphoric happening, man. Because they never let us go downtown after we won and stuff. And that parade they made up for it.
Did it?
Yeah, man,
Okay.
it was something. They said they had over 100,000 people downtown.
Man.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think the track was even open when you guys won the championship. It just might have came back open. It came back open after the war.
Yeah, it's something like that did. I don't know if it was during that time or not.
Because I know that it opened up after the war when people started coming back home.
Yeah.
Because it was down. They wasn't even doing any racing or anything. It really wasn't nothing going on.
Right.
Too much back then because of the war.
Yeah.
But pretty much the city was kind of shut down because they didn't have people didn't have the money or means to be able to afford to do luxury stuff. So.
Yeah, the 500 Festival Committee rented us rooms to stay downtown during that weekend, the racing weekend. They had a luxury RV vehicle take us back and forth from the track to the hotel. And we had breakfast and stuff over across the street from the hotel. Let me get this straight. It was right near the parade route.
Okay.
It was just about a half a block. That's where we got on the float to be in the parade. Had breakfast in there. Oh man, and they had all the TV stations out there interviewing you, stuff. It was something, man. You know, it was something.
Wow. Okay.
Flew the guys in from out of town.
Yeah.
For the deal, you know. Yeah.
How was it good? How was it to see those guys again, man?
It's good to see them, man, because some of them you don't see about maybe once a year, or some maybe once 2 years, every 2 years.
Now, are you guys still talk? Still,
yeah,
still
I
call each
somebody
other?
on the phone every day.
Wow.
Oscar's brother called me before I came here. Henry Robinson, he played with us in '56. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you guys are still friends.
Oh yeah. Man. Like I say, but 6 living now, and the rest of them are passed on. Mitchell used to come down once, twice, come by and holler at me. We go to eat lunch or something. Mm-hmm. And he passed. I think a year and a half ago he passed. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, he had heart problems. You know.
Oh, and now are you still active with the museum and things like that, and the school, Crispus Attucks School.
Club.
Okay.
And I help do a golf tournament. You know, I'm there showing my display and just helping, assisting. You know, because I don't play golf.
Right.
And we I don't think we're gonna have it this year because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But and then I used to be a board member of the Crispus Attucks Alumni Association.
Okay.
But I'm not. I'm just a member now. I'm not no board member. You know.
So yeah, you know, like just doing that shoot at Attucks with you, and just, you know, people, you know, saying, hey, how you doing, you know, and all that. I was like, wow, that's cool that you were still, you know, involved.
Yeah.
You know.
Bill Hampton and I said about 6 of us were down there when that coach that was there today, Hawkins.
Yeah.
He won the championship first year he started coaching. We know Hampton went down there and talked to the boys before they went to play for the championship.
Wow.
Yeah, he had him talk to them.
So they still reach out to you guys. Yeah. Man, that is, you know, man, I just, because I've had time, you know, I mean, I've done a lot of research, you know what I mean? So I've had time to kind of see the overall view. Right. And it just what you guys were able to achieve, you know, in your life. I wish that, you know, I mean, I could do something like that would live forever, because that'll live forever. Oh yeah, I know. When I'm out of town, man, you know, they get to talk about ball. You know, you big, tall. You look like a ball player, and I tell them, no, man, then, boom, there they are. Want to know everything, man. You know, airports, anywhere, man. You know. I mean, because I guess you don't. I don't think about it. You know, I never really thought about, you know, trying to do something that, and I guess most of the time you don't think about it. It's just something that happens when you make history. Right. You know, it's not something that you pretty much go out to try to do most of the time. It's just something that happens, and you're like, wow. But I never really thought about it. You know what I mean? Doing something to make history or anything like that. But until I started doing this, and then I thought, you know, it reminds me of something that the rap artist Jay-Z. Right. He has a song where he says that, you know, I'll live forever because of what I've done. You know what I mean? Not who I am, but what I've done. I will live forever. They'll talk about me in barbershops forever. Right. You know, and the same is true with you guys. Oh, yeah. That team, you know what I mean? You're forever locked into history. Yeah, it's amazing, man. You can be in the store, drugstore, anything. They'll visit. How you doing? You know, walk up, you know who you are. How's such and so? They know all the guys' names and stuff, man. Did you have any idea when you went out for basketball? Did you even have an idea of maybe? No, I didn't. This could even come close to what you've done? No, I never thought too much about it. You know, and then, like I say, it's still going on today. You know, people call you up, you want to come out to an event or something, you know, maybe display my stuff or do a little question and answer thing afterwards for the people who want to know and stuff, you know. Still going on, man. Resonating. From I mean, you're in the books now, so it's. So you live forever, right, man? Yeah. And that's, you know, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. You know, it's like I said, I've been waiting to do this show because I just think what you guys did was amazing. You know what I mean?
I know when the young guys won it in 2017 over Attucks.
Yeah.
It was before the game.
Were you there?
Yeah, we all.
Yeah.
6 of us went down there and they got seats on the floor.
Wow.
It was a black guy.
So the guys came from out of town to come?
Well, no, just let me see. The Oscar came. His brother came out of Cincinnati, and me and Hampton lived
To
here.
come
And
see
then
these
other
kids
two,
in 2017 do it again.
Yeah, and then there was 2 guys on the '59 Attucks state championship team that were there. Anyway, them guys saw us, man. They said, "Man, look here." He said, "Them guys coming to see us play." He said, "We got to win now, man."
Yeah.
They saw us and they said, "We got to win, man." They played a heck of a game too, man.
Wow. What was that like? Being able to sit on the
man.
sidelines and see a championship.
I just had some shoulder surgery, and I had the guys pull me up every time I wanted to get up with my good hand. And that boy jumped up over this big white kid and tipped the ball in on a missed shot and won the game. And man, I was up running around. They said, "How you get up?" I don't know how I got up. Just jumped up,
Just watching them boys do it. Man. I tell you what, man, I have truly, truly enjoyed speaking to you, Mr. Gipson. And thank you for everything that you've done for the game of basketball, for the city of Indianapolis, the state of Indiana, and the nation, period. Because you guys reached the nation. It might have just been here in little old Indianapolis, but it spread quick. You guys would have been first viral.
They said it was in all newspapers all over across the country.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah. You guys would have
black
been
Negro weekly papers. Mm-hmm. They had it in big headlines,
Yeah, the Recorder here. Yeah, yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago, Kansas City. They had a black newspaper. All of them had, it was in big headlines,
Man. Well, man, it has been an awesome time. But here on the block, we like to say that the street lights are on, and it's time to go in the house. Man.
Well, thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming on and sharing, what you've done. I truly appreciate it.
Appreciate the shoes too, man.
Oh yeah, man. I bugged them until they had to come up off of them, man. I said, hold on, man. You gotta, if that shoe's gonna go anywhere, that shoe got to come here first. You know what I mean? That's so. Yeah, man. You're one of probably I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 people that have that shoe right now. But it will come out in the spring, and there's a lot of people I've heard. Because you guys have now, what are some of the websites? Do you know some of them that they have for addicts?
No, I don't know any websites. There's just a regular Crispus Attucks Hall of Fame website.
Okay,
you can get on there and see different, editorials that were written on the team.
Okay.
Like they had us in monthly magazine, Indianapolis Monthly magazine. Bill Hampton and I were featured in that back in 2005, I think it was.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll get a hold to Robert Chester, the curator over at the museum, and I'll get all the links and everything, and that way we make sure that we get it posted to everything. To everyone. Yeah,
I wish you could come by and see my little archives sometime, man.
Yeah.
Like I say, I can't display it. It's too much stuff, man. Then that's just
part
of it.
What's in the blue bag?
That's just some basketball.
Really?
Yeah. See, I thought I was going to, part of my display.
Oh, wow. 31-0. That doesn't even look real. Oh my God! Hold on, I gotta get this on here. Let's see, so you guys see that. Make sure it's in there. Yep, that's in the picture.
Here's the first one.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That you still have that, you know.
Yeah.
So, all righty. That's it. The street lights is on, Mr. Gipson, and it's time to go in the house.
All right.
But it has been a true pleasure speaking with you. And like I said, I'll get, you know, all the social media links and everything and make sure that I tag you and everything so you'll be able to see the show.
Right.
And I don't know, you know, you maybe, you know, because I suck at basketball. I could never play. I was never no good at it. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I could get you on the court and I could win, and then I look good.
You can
know?
win now. Yeah, you wouldn't have no problem.
You
now,
can win now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, sir, for being here.
Thank you for having me, man.
You're more than welcome. Thank you.
We all need money.